Peace to the saints. My name is Kevin Scott Grant, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about a topic that is very near and dear to my heart and people that I know who are around me. Let's get into it. Look, I'm just going to be straight with you right from the start. And if you're watching this, it's because you're thinking about making content creation your full-time job, your plan to pay rent, cover expenses, your career path. And I need you to hear what I'm about to say. Not because I want to crush your dreams, but because nobody's showing you the actual numbers. Nobody's talking about what happens to 95% of people who don't make it. And definitely nobody's talking about what chasing this does to your mind, body, and soul, what it does to your head while you're waiting for it to work out. So I've been creating content, and I know people who've made it. I know way more people who didn't. After looking at the data, the real data and not the success stories that you see on your feed, I'm convinced that treating content creation as a full-time career path is one of the worst financial decisions you can make right now. So let's talk about it. The income reality. Here's the thing that nobody wants to say out loud. 48% of content creators make less than $15,000 a year. Let's cite that. $15,000. That's not full-time income. That's not even part-time income. In most places, that's poverty, bottom line. And so let me break down what the platform actually pays you. In terms of TikTok, the TikTok Creator Fund, you get paid 2 to 4 cents per 1,000 views. You know what that means, right? 1 million views, which most people never get, pays you maybe $40, $20 to $40 for 1 million views. Now, let's move over to YouTube Shorts, which is slightly better at 5 to 15 cents per 1,000 views. Still terrible. Now, Instagram Reels, 5 to 10 cents per 1,000 views, even if you qualify for their bonus program. Now, the response I always hear is, but what about sponsorships? Okay, we can talk about sponsorships. If you have 10,000 to 50,000 followers, you're making $30 to $400 per sponsored post. And that's if you can get sponsorships, if the brands want to work with you, if your engagement rate is high. You need at least 100,000 to 500,000 followers to make $125 to $1,200 per post. And here's the kicker. Only 9% of creators even make it to the 15,000 to 25,000 annual income bracket. The median salary for TikTok influencers is between $15,000 to $25,000. The median. That means half of everyone doing this makes less than that. Compare that to literally any entry-level job. Most entry-level positions start at around $30,000 to $40,000 a year, with benefits, with predictable income, with a path forward. Now, moving on to the mental health cost, which I believe is the most important section within this video. Let's talk about what this does to you while you're chasing it. Teens who spend more than 3 hours daily on social media have double the risk of experiencing mental health problems like anxiety and depression. And if you're creating content, you're not just on these platforms 3 hours a day, you're on them constantly, checking analytics, comparing yourself to other creators, watching your views, refreshing to see if you went viral or not. 60% of social media users say it negatively affects their self-esteem. Now, isn't that crazy? Now, imagine that's not just your hobby, it's your source of income, your lifeline. Every video that flops isn't just disappointing, it's your rent money disappearing. The comparison game never ends. You see someone blow up overnight and think, well, why not me? Why can't that be me? You watch people with less talent, less effort, less everything succeed while you're grinding and getting nowhere. And here's what nobody tells you. Among heavy social media users, 41% rate their mental health as poor or very poor. You're literally betting your financial future on a slot machine that statistically makes you depressed. The algorithm doesn't care. So here's something else to understand on why the algorithm doesn't care. It doesn't care about your bills. And you can do everything right, post consistently, engage with your audience, create quality content, follow all of the growth hacks and all of the information and the advice that the social media gurus present to you. And the algorithm can just simply not show your stuff to anyone. Shadow bans you. The algorithm changes. Platform shifts. Your income can drop 70% overnight. And there's nothing you can do about that. You're building your entire career on rented land. TikTok could ban you tomorrow. Instagram could change their algorithm. YouTube could demonetize your content, and you have zero control over that. Compare that to actual skills. If you learn to code, that skill is yours. If you learn to trade, those hands are yours. If you build expertise in anything real, nobody can take that away with an algorithm update. What should you do instead? So what you should do is build proper skills that compound. Learn something that makes you more valuable over time, not something that depends on you going viral next week. Personally, I am currently in school to become a cybersecurity specialist. There are many fields that I can go down. I will be achieving my bachelor's degree here pretty soon, either by the end of the year or by next year, depending on how fast I want to progress through my course. Since it's online, I get to take the proper amount of time so that I can be most efficient within other areas of my life. That is a skill that I'm going to build that can transcend me to the next steps in life and can also help me stabilize in, which I would say, an unstable economy. Either way, it's going to benefit me in the future, the fact that I'm taking this route. Not only that, but my job also provides me skills as a signal maintainer working for the railroad that can also catapult me and have also developed certain aspects that I can take. Let's say I want to leave that job and pursue something within the self-employment realm. I can take those trades and those skills and put them to good use. So other skills that you can develop can be web development, sales project management, copywriting, data analysis, literally anything where your value goes up with experience and not down with algorithm changes. Here's the thing. You can still create content, but from a position of stability and not desperation. Work a real job, build real skills, save real money, then create content on the side if you want. Because when you're not relying on it to eat, you make better content anyway. You're not chasing trends. You're creating this because you actually have something to say. And if it takes off, great. You can transition, but you're not gambling your entire life on it working out. The best time to build a content creation career is when you don't need it to work. When you've got income, when you've got skills, and when you've got options. They are the statistical exception. They're the lottery winner. And here's what they don't show you. Most of them had something else going on first. A job, a skill, a safety net. They didn't bet everything on content creation from day one. Mr. Beast worked at a grocery store. And when you think of very profound businessmen like Marquette Burton, who started his YouTube journey, his online content journey, well after his successes within business. I say all that to say that most successful creators had a backup plan that eventually became unnecessary. They didn't start by quitting their job and hoping YouTube would pay their bills. I'm going to close and make a conclusion with this. I'm not saying don't create content, create all you want. But what I am saying is don't bet your life on it. Don't put off learning real skills because you think you're going to go viral next month. Don't skip the job interview because you're grinding on TikTok. Don't choose instability and anxiety and comparing yourself to millions of people every day over building something real. The algorithm is not a career plan. Followers are not financial security, and hoping you'll be the exception to the statistics is not a strategy. Build skills, create value, get paid for solving actual problems, then create content if you want. But do it from a place of strength and not desperation. Because the uncomfortable truth is this. The people making money telling you to follow your dreams and become a content creator are making money off of you watching their content about becoming a content creator. They're not making money from the thing they're telling you to do. They're making money from telling you to do it. Don't be the product. Be the person with options. Stay sharp. Peace to the Saints.